summer slowdown in Yorba Linda has already begun, and unless we see a dramatic dip in interest rates over the next couple months, there's a very good chance we already saw demand peak for the year and it will be slowly heading down for the remaining months. Now, what does this mean if you're thinking of buying or selling a home inside Yorba Linda over the next couple months? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about on today's episode, where I go over my May 2025 housing market forecast for Yorba Linda. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so before we get started on these episodes, I always like to let you know, if this is your first time here, yes, I'm going to give you some stats about the housing market. However, I'm going to provide the context behind it as well so you can understand what it actually means for you if you're thinking of buying or selling a home. So first, let's go ahead and go over inventory. So right now in Yorba Linda, we have 110 homes up for sale. So at the beginning of last month, we had 92. So inventory is slowly growing as we head closer to summer, and that's completely expected. However, if you look at the opposite side, the amount of closed sales, 2 months ago, it was at 55. This last month, it was at 56. So closed sales really haven't budged that much. So when inventory starts to rise, closed sales stay the same. That tends to mean that the housing market is continuing to slow down in Yorba Linda as we head towards summer. And that's evident when you look at the median days on market. So at the beginning of April, the median days on market was right around 21. However, at the beginning of May, it's jumped up to 28. So within the last month, it's now taking a week longer to get most homes into escrow within Yorba Linda. So the market is definitely starting to cool off as we head towards summer. And if you look at how many homes are going to escrow in less than a month, right now it's about 78%. A month ago, it was at about 82%. So we're seeing that homes are definitely taking a little bit longer to get into escrow. However, just because we're seeing sales decline, does that mean prices are going down in Yorba Linda? Not so fast. So right now, if you look over the last month, 55% of all homes that were sold went for at or above asking price. Now that is definitely down from the previous month, which hovered around 66%. So yes, we are seeing a slowdown. However, in Yorba Linda right now, we're pretty much at an equilibrium where both buyers and sellers are on pretty equal footing. The housing market is balanced in Yorba Linda. Prices aren't falling, but they're not going up that significantly either. So right now, I would consider the Yorba Linda housing market to be healthy. So it hasn't happened for a while. Over these last couple of years, it's been a crazy ride, but we're finally back to a healthy housing market where you're just not going to see one side have that much advantage over the other. And if you look at the Yorba Linda housing numbers compared to Orange County housing numbers, we're definitely a little bit hotter in Yorba Linda than we are most of Orange County. So keep that in mind. Yorba Linda is a great place to live. There's a lot of desire to live here. So the demand's always going to be a little bit higher than the majority of other Orange County cities. So what does this all mean for anybody trying to buy or sell a home over the next couple months? Well, unfortunately, like it's been for the entire year, a lot of it is going to have to do with what interest rates are doing. So right now, interest rates are still in the high sixes. Last time I checked, they're at 6.87. And when interest rates are this high, you can expect this market to continue. You're going to see demand slowly decrease as it normally does as we head closer to summer. You're going to see inventory continue to go up, and you're going to see the market continue to slowly cool off over the next couple months. However, if interest rates start shifting even by maybe a 0.5% one way or another, it could dramatically impact the market. So if interest rates start to drop below 6.5%, we saw last year around the September timeframe that happened for a few weeks, demand picked up significantly. We had a bunch of new buyers flood the market, and we started seeing multiple offers again. So it doesn't take that much of a decrease to really impact the housing market. If we were to get down below that 6.5% again, expect the market to slowly start heating up even as we're going towards summer. And on the other side of things, when we see interest rates go above 7%, that's when things start to slow down more than expected. So if you see rates go above that range, expect inventory to build even faster, demand to grow even slower. Now, if you do see interest rates stay above that 7% for the long term, it wouldn't be unexpected to start seeing softening in the housing market and even some slight price decreases as we head through summer. So really everything right now in terms of where the market's going to be going for summer is going to be very highly tied to what interest rates are doing. So that's the thing you're going to want to be paying attention to if you're thinking of buying or selling a home over the next couple months. So what's my advice if you are thinking of buying or selling a home as we head through summer? Let's go ahead and start with buyers first. So like I've said, inventory is definitely going up. Buyers, this is giving you a lot more homes to choose from, especially compared to the last couple years when inventory was so low. So this enables you to go out to a house, check it out, and if you don't like it or maybe you're kind of half and half, you can skip it, go to the next one, and that house will most likely still be there the next weekend because homes aren't selling immediately anymore. Now that doesn't mean that all homes are not selling immediately. If it is is move-in ready in a great neighborhood, priced and marketed correctly, we are still seeing those homes go into escrow in less than 2 weeks, so you do need to be a little bit careful depending on what type of home you're looking for. But in general, right now, you definitely can take a breather when you're looking for homes, not having to make your mind up right away and really waiting for that perfect opportunity to come available for you. It's going to be a great home that you're going to be able to live in for the long term. Now, on the selling side of things, and I've been saying very similar things over the last couple months, and it becomes more and more true as the market softens, but pricing is everything right now. If you overprice your home in this market, it is going to sit, and it's going to sit for a long time until you eventually start doing price reductions, and that's going to draw out those buyers that are looking for a deal, giving you lowball offers, and ultimately you're going to end up with a lower price than you could have if you just priced it correctly to begin with. So make sure you're really diving into the comparable sales in the neighborhood, not overpricing your home, and pricing it just right or maybe slightly below market value to draw some extra interest. And that way you're going to be guaranteed to get the highest price for your home that you can get by getting as many qualified eyeballs in your property, checking it out, falling in love with it. Because if you've ever purchased a home before, we all know that once you find a home that you love, sometimes the financial picture drops out a little bit and becomes a little less important, and you might be willing to stretch if that home has 10 out of the 10 must-haves for you. So keep that in mind as you're making your marketing strategy for getting your house on the market. In today's market, it's also a really good idea to make sure that you walk through way ahead of time with the real estate agent, figure out what updates you might be able to do, small things that are going to give you the most return on investment, as well as talk to a stager to figure out what they could do to help your home show even better. Between that, professional videos, photography is going to give you the best chance of getting the best offer for your home. Now, if you are thinking of buying in Yorba Linda and want to learn more about the city, what it has to offer, the different amenities available, check out my free relocation guide. Depending on where you're watching this, you can find it in the description below or the link in my bio. And whether you're thinking of buying or selling a home in Yorba Linda, if you have more questions that I haven't answered here that are more specific to your situation, don't worry, I'm here to help. So all you have to do is set up a free 15-minute discovery call with me where we can go over all those questions, get them answered, and that way you have a better understanding of what direction you should be going in today's housing market. To set up that free discovery call, again, depending on where you're watching this, you can either find the link in the description below or the link in my bio. So until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye, everybody.